Today is the last game of the season for Chase Redler. Besides next Wednesday, he's got the state tournament. But anyway, take a look at the disclosure. You guys know the drill. It's 312. All right, guys. My name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. So here we are. It's a tough tape. You know, you have winners from this year that remained winners that, you know, were kind of just trending higher. One by one have been taken out, you know, with one big swoosh where a name like Facebook that was up 20 days loses 7 of them in one day, or a name like Goldman even, or a name like JP Morgan, or a name like Palantir. That's what happens, you know, if you start shorting these things early because you think of PE and this and that, and you know, until it actually lets you, you know, make money there, you're better off just waiting for the stock to tell you versus playing the cost average game. But then in certain areas with a certain RSI in a certain situation, some people like cost averaging just in case they're going to miss it, and they take a little pain. It all depends. I like my risk defined. That's how I've been doing this for 20 years. Anyway, you look at the chart of the SPYs, it's like, hey, you know, yesterday we closed well, so if you were in the SPYs, they kind of stopped you out, and now we're back above, and this is loose and wide. You know, these ranges are getting loose and wide. This new low here is what, 607.02? I don't know what would be able to take us to a new all-time high. Like, there's nothing so exciting. There's nothing that looks so great. Like, I don't even really know how we're up here but we are. So we'll see how that goes. The Qs, could also say just broke 536, got a little sloppier, but held 532-ish, right? What did it hold here? 532-ish. So you can't be so upset. Just this range is getting bigger. We are in a very range-bound trade. What did IWMs do today? Broke 225. What did XBI do today? XBI actually looks better, I guess. Yeah. You're looking at these charts. XBI really has a reason maybe to be in there. You know, verse 90. What does XBI look like here? It's only down a penny. Interesting. You guys see the XBI for, what does Dan think about the XBI? Dan, you like the XBI here? You know, I guess I don't know if that's enough to be in it or not. Anyway, so we'll get back to that. You know, and then you look at mega cap tech. You know, yesterday was your day we bought Microsoft. Now it kind of got rejected into the moving averages at first kiss, but it was a good trade. I got rid of the options. I was buying options down here, and then I bought the stock and sold some, and now we'll see what's next here. It's off the highs. I'm smaller. I would have liked it to be better. I'm kind of playing Google for a similar trade where it's in this area. You know, some think this could be a bear flag to break 181.70. It might. Some think it's going to get above 186 and be you know, from 207 down here, a play back into the moving averages. I right now have a little options on, I have a little stock on. If it gets above 186, I'll be adding more of it. Tesla was very hard. You know, looked good yesterday, came in really fast. Now it's kind of holding this pocket pivot. You know, I don't know what to say except for I lost a decent amount of money here, and thank God I traded around it somewhat well. Somewhat's a new special. How low did it get today? 348, just a little bit above 347. Still an inside range here. You know, I don't know. I'm not playing it. Very trappy. It's very trappy. I'm not taking it home. You know, it hurt. It hurt. Like, look how fast. Look what Tesla did, you know, into the open. So this was Tesla on the open. You know, if you tried to play it to go right to green because you had it overnight, you know, this isn't, here it is. Boom. It basically went from looking like it was going to break above this little downtrend, got upgraded, had a few pieces of news to that. Didn't let you breathe. Thank God, like, this little spot happened where I was buying it into here and I sold it and then was done with it. Otherwise, I could have really got hurt today. This is not a market to do a cost average game. You could definitely get very, very hurt. Anyway, so we'll see what's next there. I want to save the SPYs real quick, just so I have it for tomorrow morning or for later. I might come back later, see where things are. That's the SPYs. Loose and wide. I bought some puts for next week, just to have. You know, they're not expensive. They're like 80 cents. Someone's like, I think this market's going to be some kind of flash crashy type action here. So I was like, you know what? You know, I did short some 611s, thinking like, why would we make an all-time high tomorrow to collect some premium that could help? And I also bought some 598 puts, which are far down for like my average of 80 cents. So it's more like an accident policy. Monthly options tomorrow. Okay, that's good to know, Jay Rice. Uh, it's coming in right now. Microsoft is coming in. Anyway, so Apple still in. Gave me no reason to be out of it except for these little rising channels break when they want to break. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm smaller, so just be careful if it does happen. Meta broke its 20-day streak. Ascending channels are great until they break to the downside, and that broke at 275. I made a little bit of a lower low today. Trying to hold the 21-day. 693.94. I have no interest in buying it yet. Just floating around. 693.94. We'll see what it does from here. But again, it was a good spot to break. And now it's just a tactical trade. I don't even see what Netflix is doing today. It also, after looking like it was a little bit better yesterday, broke that spot. What's this low here today? It's 1,015. Kind of bending. Amazon made another. Actually, Amazon closed below this area. Doesn't really have anything down towards here, so be careful. It looked like it was bottoming. I didn't play it today. Like Walmart really got hurt today. Big hole in Walmart's chart now. Again, I don't know anything that's looking so fantastic, like it's ready to go and breaking new highs. Really. Anyway, semiconductors do look better. This gap's gone. I might as well get rid of it. It's made a new high and came in 259.60. I will say that Nvidia, I know it has numbers coming out soon. It feels like, it's acting better. Why do I say that? Well, it had a big move. Kind of hit 143. Held the 8-day. If it could hold this little spot, hey, maybe there's another trade here. Resetting up. Remember this one? We bought it in here, and then you had to move through the prior high. Well, maybe that happens again. SMCI also, some guys are having success trading it, so you could put it back on the radar. Big move to 66.41. Here's one spot. Here's the 8-day. Maybe it moves up. Maybe there's another trade there. Baidu. I didn't do the Chinese names. Baidu. Baidu's just gross. Could have been better. They sold strength. I guess it's gross. Sorry. I lost a bunch of money there. Baba. We'll see what happens here in the days ahead. This low here is what, 131.41. This is 129. We'll see how that goes. I almost played it perfect, but almost is only good enough for, if you're throwing a grenade at somebody, or if you're paying your taxes, or not paying. What was that saying? Almost is only good enough for hand grenades and horseshoes and grenades. There you go, Dan. Oh God, I had a great call spread on. I figured it was a little bit overbought. I wanted to short a strike higher, sell my long a little bit first, hold some shorts, and P.S. if I would have done that, it would have really worked out well for me. But guess what? I made money there, but I could have made a lot more money, and it's all right. I'm not going to hold it against. Now it's here at 137. It's it's a nice trade. Something that we're going to stay with. Hopefully it continues this trend. If you look at the weekly chart of Baba, not so bad. Looks like it's working its way into this area. Looks like it could even work harder than that. This was one spot and this was your second spot. Doesn't have many friends doing it, but whatever. Yeah, iBid is pretty good. So somebody asked me about that. I did buy it back. I still have some Mr. calls on, but I'm not really going to overly focus there. iBid just got above this little spot. So, again, it feels like they tried to wash it out and really couldn't. So it was stronger than those. I don't know. I'm not going to read too far into it. It's above this. It's above the moving averages. I got long, and I might even add to it here on the close. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's one of my bigger positions for right now, even though it's tough. Mr. held where it had to, I guess. Maybe they got that convertible out of the way, and at some point gets better. We'll see. Yeah, there you go, Susan Horseshoes. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to be here when Celsius reports. I am in some options. Lot of optimism out there. I think there's way too much optimism, but it suckered me in. I'm in some 27.5 calls for next week. I do think if it's any good, it can get to 32-ish. You would think. Um, if not, risk is premium paid. I'm also still in some Rivian. Again, my inner voice is telling me to save money, just get out of the way. But sometimes if I sell it to save money and then it works, I'm more upset about not having it than losing, because I expect to lose in these option plays lately. I hate to say it, but it's true. It is true. Why am I in Unity? This guy Shy that I was on with really loves it. Says it's more than just an Apple story, more than just, you know, um, whatever, more more than just what people think. And it's up a lot today. Now you have a big pro gap to play against. This could start an active sequence. I want to start being a little bit more proactive here. So that's why I'm in this. It's closing well. Has a lot of volume. Maybe it's reborn. So I'm in there. Palantir, came well off the lows. I said use this today as a leading indicator for risk, and it came into the gap, came off the gap. Here's your next resistance. If you got out here and shorted there, maybe you bought here and covered here. So this is not so bad. Good book would say be up. If it's opening down, you might be able to buy it. If it opens up tomorrow, you might be able to fade it. It's pretty good. 29ish. Yeah, if they do come out with something. But pretty cool. How low did it get? 95.80. Took back 99.30. That's your new point of reference. This gap is now lower. Lower. It already did that once. It's unnecessary. You guys have from the Alpha team want me to put up any charts? Anybody? Hood? Probably got hit with everything else. A lot of these big move stocks, these turned into exhaustion gaps. This is gone now. Now, just like everything else, all these names that were special, they all hit their 21-day. So here's your new point of reference. Your out should have been here on Hood, just for rules purposes. This day was your out. If you got out there, hey, maybe you could buy it back here. Dash also, if you got out at 209 when it broke this area, it's still not even down towards the 21-day yet. It hit a low of what? This is your new point of reference, 199.49. Said be careful here, with all the other high, all the other whatever you want to call them, high valuation stocks got hit. A little off lows. This is your next spot. We'll see. The guys that have been in it, they bought more. Some of the quantum names are doing better. Someone asked me about QBTS. It's a nice move today. Looks better than some of the others. Looks like there's some room to fill that gap above. There's a big gap here. QUBT is not really participating. If this group was to wake up, you would think this can go, but again, you gotta be careful. IONQ is the leader here. Not really doing a whole lot, so I would just be careful with some of those. Meta, gave you a new point of reference, but it's not in a rush here. 50 days down there, 21 days here. It's a new point of reference. Not closing great, but okay. Spies hanging in the ARB. Yeah, I got stopped out of. Yeah, on this day you should have got stopped out, or maybe you're still in a verse here. It's been just, not a great stock. Looked good here. Should have got out when this should not have happened. This big wide range bar should not have engulfed this excitement bar. And then it came halfway up and was sold, and I think that's when I got stopped out. NBIS, impressive and crazy at the same time. Just be careful trading this thing. By the way, look, held at 21 day. So some of these names all held at 21 day, so that's kind of good. Roy, I thought they already had that already. ARBE. What else? Anybody like the XBI? Is there any catalyst coming up for the bios? It's very choppy. I haven't had much success here. What was that other name that DP that was in? Is it outperforming this? Is it still above 10? IM something or other? Nothing. I'm staying away. STIM, what's that? Pretty big move. I don't know nothing about it though, but it's been above the 8 and 21 day, which is what momentum speculative names need to be. Am I in tier one? Yeah. I'm in stock, I'm in options. It's down $1.15. It did hold up. Wasn't caught. Feels better than it's been, but again, we'll have to see. There's a lot of cross currents out there. If you want to just be in options, you can be in options. I'm in options in stock. Yeah, you had earnings today, so that's why it's acting really well. Listen, guys, I've been a little battered and bruised lately myself. I went from a big month, starting out the quarter to about evenish. I got caught in a few things that just were unfortunate, but anyway, ASTS kind of hanging around. Held the 8 day, still looks good. Remember, I got stopped out here, lost a lot of money. None of the earnings plays have been great. We were in Google because we had to be social. Remember, we had a great play here, and then that happened. Okay, that hurt. We had Baidu earnings play, not good. Toast earnings play, not good. None of the earnings plays have been good except for APP. And then if you tried to be in it for an additional move, you just got crushed. So it's been very hard. Very hard. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's methodical. Remember that beautiful sequence we had after September 11th, right? Talk about sequences that that make sense and could make money. I remember right here, I was down probably almost 200 some $1,000 and then wound up making it all back and then some in this beautiful active sequence that held perfectly, that went up, got extended, went up, went again, and now here we are. Although it feels like we have a low, a higher low, a higher low, it feels odd. It feels definitely odd. Anyway, I had a really strong January, and then that one day, this was the day that it all went downhill for me. I remember those guys were short Oklo, and they got me short Oklo, somewhere around here. and then it had to go to 59, goes to show you can't just be short the stock. And then I think on that same day or right around there, I was buying a lot of this, and that happened, and I had to get out of the way. And then I think we had like 2 bad Tesla trades and then a few bad earnings plays, and boom, just like that. But again, it is what it is. It's February 20th, and what you don't want to do is revenge trade. What you don't want to do is put yourself in a hole. What you don't want to do is get crazy. What you don't want to do is get too negged out. What you want to do is take a step back and figure out what you're in and why you're in it, and try and make some adjustments and move forward. And then have some small wins. Small wins lead into bigger wins, and bigger wins lead into a great month and quarter. If you're in a rut, sometimes the best thing to do is just get fully flat and have nothing on and day trade and make a little bit of money. And then all of a sudden you make a few days in a row and you're feeling good and you're like, boom, let's go. Let's go. But anyway, as of right now, it's hard to tell. This Palantir is coming all the way back up also. If hopefully you're not just shorting a bounce, in this thing. It's been a good leading indicator for the day. Why is it? And now we'll see what's next. This would be a better level. What's NVIDIA doing? Yeah, it's hanging in there. There's a setup happening here, perhaps. Yeah, very impressive. That's what's driving the market a little bit up. All right, guys. 3:31. Just remember, this is 3:31. This is not 4 o'clock. A lot can happen in the next half an hour if you're trading earnings after the close. Be careful and good luck. I appreciate you guys.